Hey, what's up, everybody? We are going to wait for a little bit. Gonna wait for some people to come in till we get started. See, I got one. Say hello. Hey, boy, tragic. See, I got three. Two more. Say hello. Say hello. We'll try to get it some more, and then we're going to dig deep into the topic of what's going on Facebook today and all the other shenanigans on YouTube. Can't wait for this. Okay, so we got a few. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get to the point here. Um, the thing is about what's going on in my group on Facebook. Hey CR7, how you doing today? Hope you're having a good day and a blessed day. Um, hey Sandy. Hey CR7. Y'all come on in. Here we go. That's good. Hey Joy Deep. Oh, has it? Sam Hat. Who has my address? Would you please name? Speak louder. Is my microphone not? Let me get a little bit closer here. It's an Android, so um, yep, vape time, no doubt about that. Um, I love my vapes. These are called Nexta. They're 50,000 puff vapes. They're $25 each at my local store. And you get two for 45. Um, anyways, to get to what's going on in the Facebook group, it will be private starting February 19th. Um, it will be only a Team Sebastian group, the green group, because I've had enough of the drama on in that group. I've literally had enough. Um, I I do. I do the THCP, man. THCP is a lot stronger, but I don't do it very often because it makes me feel like I can't get out of the bed for 2 days. But anyways, there seems to be so much going on in that group. Um, not that I, not what I intended for it to be going on. Harassment, bullying, and shit like that are there. So I've just made the decision that it's just going to be a private group, and there's going to be strict entrance rules, as well as um, there's definitely going to be no bullying in that group. There's not going to be um, any more of the Proudfoot Bower Sox supporters being a part of that group, because I've had it up to here with their drama, and I know they're on um, YouTube as well. So you know they'll probably come in here too. I'm ready for that. Um, Wild Rocker 80s. It's my THCP vape, man. Like I said, it's over there on my entertainment center. But it's way more potent than regular street stuff. So but anyways, the keep the topic on Sebastian. Um I believe that Katie and Chris know more than what they're saying. And like I've said in my videos, I believe the Sumner County Sheriff's Department knows more than what they're saying. Of course they do. And I understand their legitimate right to want to protect the um, investigation. My problem with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office is they only update it when they feel like it needs to be updated. And it's always the same thing. If it was a record player, it'd be broken by now. Well, we're sorry, but we don't have no new leads. And that's pretty much all we can tell you. That's all they ever say. But yet they get out there and they post on Facebook how they've busted somebody for $200-300 bag of weed or whatever, and they posted on Facebook and how proud they are of themselves and stuff. And I looked down in the comments and I wrote, and I read what somebody had posted. Yeah, you're so worried about this right here, but you're not at all worried about finding Sebastian, which is a far much more serious situation, and it is. Not that I'm promoting at all the sale of any kind of drugs on my channel, no. But what I'm saying is, they're out there. Um, their main focus is on busting people with a small amount of marijuana, more focused on that than they are focusing on Sebastian. To me, that's pathetic in every aspect. And I also blame um, TBI, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. I think they need an overhaul as well, because I don't think they're doing their job. If they were doing their job, think about this: we would have Summer Wells case closed. we would have had Sebastian Rogers case closed. And there's many other on there that we would have had their case closed. It's sad that I look at the Tennessee TBI and missing children, and it's what, number one in the country, close to it for missing children, and they can't ever find them, not one. That's because they don't have a good leader at the TBI office. In my state, it don't last long. Believe me, you're caught and it don't last long. But you're innocent until proven guilty. Allegedly. I'm saying this allegedly. But I feel like that Chris and Katie has done something to this poor innocent child. And there's nothing that can be done to change my mind about that. And that's the problem in my Facebook group. They do not want to hear anything else. And if it don't fit their propaganda or fit their agenda, they want you silenced. And they want people on YouTube silenced as well. Unless they agree with them. Now, if they agree with them, that's different. Go back to Chris's call in with ET. Now, this being one of, I like ET, I really do. He's confirmed that he's autistic, and he can't help that. And my spouse is autistic too, but he's also high functioning. But I don't know about Sebastian's case of autism. I don't know if it's high function or low function. I mean, that's Seth's business only. To me, it's not none of my business. It's not none of Katie's business no more, or Chris's. I think that if Sebastian is found, that he should go to custody of his dad, or at the very minimum, CPS. That's what it's called in my state, Child Protective Services. But if you go back to one of their interviews, you notice a dog bark. The dogs were barking. Now, it could be because there's a cameraman or somebody else, in there with the interview, or they could be just barking because they're new people. But Chris would say, shh, and the dog still wouldn't be barking. And then, shh, the dog still would bark. Why would them dogs still bark? Is it because them dogs know something? Is it because the dogs are actually smarter than the Sumner County Sheriff's Office and the TBI combined? It's possible with TBI and the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. It's possible. Believe me, it is. Because I don't trust anybody in that sheriff's office. I don't trust anybody on the TBI. I don't. I watched a man, Seth, get out there, walk through the woods when it was cold as hell outside. I know it may not have been that cold on the night he went missing. It was in the 50s or lower 50s, upper 50s, maybe low 60s for the lows that night. But a lot of those days that Seth spent um, searching for his child, and all these people, when they got out of church and stuff, they come down and help search for Sebastian. Yet they got ran off, basically, after a couple of days. These were some cold conditions. And what did Chris and Katie do? Oh, they said they were out privately searching. Privately searching? That's kind of creepy. I would want somebody, if this was a situation like it is right now, I think I would have wanted somebody out there if I was the parent. I would have wanted somebody out there with me searching for my child, especially if I was being considered a suspect. Wouldn't you? But that's not how it worked out. They didn't search at all. In fact, they went to a bike shop, I'm assuming to purchase some bike gear for their Myrtle Beach rally bike fest week at Myrtle Beach. That's where they went. Okay, so people said that they went to some bike fest. Well, the bike fest was at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. They have not one but two major bike fests every year at Myrtle Beach. And it is the only bike fest that I know of that's that big on the eastern side of this country. Hey Panda, how you doing? How you doing? But and I feel so sorry for what they're doing to Betty, dragging her through the mud, um, stalking her, harassing her. Look, Stafford Court it's a state-owned street, just like my little drive out here. It, you can park anywhere out here as long as you don't park in a parking space. If you park in a parking space and you don't live out here and you're here for 3 or 4 days, you best bet you're gone. And probably the tenant as well. So, yeah. But whoever posted that they think that they've got my address, could you please tell me who that person is? I mean, you don't if you're no longer in the live chat, you can leave it in the comments after the live chat is over with. That'll be perfectly fine. Because, like I said, the rule changes in my group. The Bower Sox won't be a part of. The Proudfoots won't be a part of. And none of their supporters will be a part of. Starting the 19th. So There's a 3-day window that they've got to get the hell out of my group, because they don't want Sebastian found, and that's obvious. And being that they don't want Sebastian found, and yet I've seen them pick on people that's autistic. That's kind of disgusting, and it's a disgrace. But going back to his interview with ET, notice how when he first come on the show, and this is what he does. When his supporters on YouTube say something that he feels like is against what he believes, he immediately, boom, calls in and lashes out. Well, he's not going to, I mean, he can do that on their channel, but if he wants to try to play that tactic with me, well, I'm ready for that. This is my dog, Luna. She's a full-blooded Jack Russell Terrier. She's wide open, has a lot of energy. I will not give my number out in public to him. So he can get on ET's show and do whatever he wants. You know, at first ET had control of the situation. Then all of a sudden, it went from ET having control to Chris controlling the situation. That's not the way it'll be with me. He will not control the narrative, not with me. If he dares calling me on my phone, it's going to be recorded, most definitely. Also, it will be like he is in an interrogation room all night long, because I have questions after questions after questions after questions and more questions. I've got probably at least enough questions for him that can last for probably about 12 hours. So if he's more than willing to do that, then he can message me on Facebook. We can do the phone thing, and he'll be recorded, and it will be uploaded to my YouTube channel. But I will not give my phone info out to the public. No. That's not going to happen. She says, hey. Gigi, she says, hey. But, yeah, challenge is accepted. I mean, if he wants to call me on my phone and we discuss, then yeah. But he's going to be recorded, and if he has any slip-ups that I feel like is any slip-ups, then the recording will be forwarded to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office TBI. Because he won't control the narrative, not with me. Because I lived, my dad is a narcissist. Let me just be honest, perfectly clear about that. My dad's a narcissist, okay? And what did he do when he couldn't get his way? He went into isolation, and he didn't answer the phone to nobody. He didn't want nobody over there with him. And he shot himself. And that's what they do. When the bottom starts falling out, it starts to, it just crumbles with them. And then they can't handle it because their ego's been shredded. And and I'm sorry if I sound wrong by saying this, but how do you supposed to react when you're put in a situation like I was put in, and many other children, like Nina's children with Chris? I wasn't put in it with Chris. I was put in it with my dad only. So I know what it's like to live with somebody like that. I know what it's like to live with a control freak. And I will not ever do it again. So I mean, I feel like Sebastian was being perfectly, unfortunately, controlled. And I know there's going to be people that's going to say, well, they believe Katie's being controlled too. No, Katie's not being controlled. If you listen to Nina, Katie's a part of the problem. She's not being controlled. She's a part of the problem. Two narcissists together, is it that they're going hand in hand now? It's definitely possible. But right now, as far as it comes to my Facebook groups and stuff, my hands are tied until the 19th. But when they become untied, expect to be a mass exodus from my group. And I don't care if it cuts it in half. To me, because those people that will be leaving, they're not Sebastian supporters. They are not ones that want to find him. Me, I'm about finding him. Because this is not about Team Katie, Team Chris, Team Proudfoot, Team Seth. It's about Team Sebastian. And that's the problem that the critics, and all of them are coming from the Proudfoot and Bowersox area. And like I said, when his own content creators that he cherishes so good says something that he doesn't like, that's the only time you hear from Chris Proudfoot. And it's with a anger voice that just comes in there. He already knows that you're in control of the narrative. So he comes in there with a raging attitude, and immediately he points out the people that he feels like are weak-minded and that he can break them down. Well, this ain't one. So that's why he's more than welcome to give me a call. We'll put it on record. And, the challenge will be accepted, and anything that he says that I feel like is going against Sebastian, and if there's any leaks that I feel in the situation, any slip-ups, then I'll do my best to abide by the law, and I will send it to the. I will make sure that the Sumner County Sheriff's Office gets it. I will make sure that the TBI gets it. I will provide the transcript. I've got it. It's on record of what Nina's daughter told me, because it's important that everybody knows exactly just how mean this man is. And I'm not talking about Faith. No, Nina has another daughter. That's who I'm talking about that reached out to me last night. She was desperate and she wanted her voice to be heard. And then lo and behold, somebody, I'm assuming it's a mod that I fired in my group this morning, turned me in to Facebook after me posting what Femina wanted me to post to get her word out there. That's what she wanted me to do. She wanted me to get her word out there, and I delivered, and I promised on that. And I don't regret it. I even tried to send it to Nick, but it wouldn't go through. So I sent it to Betty. She got it, and she said she was going to make sure that it got sent to Nick, and hopefully it's going to be sent to the Dog the Bounty Hunter. But Chris thinks, just like any other narcissist thinks, that he's unstoppable. If you were a stepfather of a missing child, what would you be doing during that interview? Wouldn't you at least be shedding some kind of tear instead of looking over there at your wife with some demonic looking eyes? Because that's exactly what I saw. I saw a look of, if you don't say what I told you to say, you will pay for it. I also don't believe, I also don't believe after some of the at night media stuff, posts and stuff, I no longer believe that Chris was in Memphis, Tennessee, or Mississippi at that time Sebastian went missing. Explain to me why there was a tarp or a car cover over what looks like it was a truck sitting in the Proudfoot's driveway or yard that day. I mean, not that day, but during that week. Oh, but he was in Memphis all week. How is that possible? Is that possible? Now, I do know that we cannot fully say that that was his truck. We can suspect, allegedly. And everything I say on here is allegedly. So, make that perfectly clear. But I just after what I saw on At Night's post last night, and then some of Bullhorn Beatty's video yesterday, I had a lot of hope that Sebastian is safe, but I now believe that he is in grave danger and it's code red. That's what I believe. And okay, if you're in the group, you'll have to let me know who you are. I've got 4 right now, so I'm looking for as many as I can get. Admins, because I have a lot of doctor's appointments and stuff, and me and my spouse, and um, we have to go to the capital, to the big city for that, and we live quite a bit of ways. Um, it sucks having rural um, healthcare. It just does. I mean, people that live in rural areas, you probably know what it's like to have some health issues and stuff. And mine's it's not major, but it's enough that it limits me severely. So um, and I know that there's going to be people on that's going to post after the video that making fun of me and my ADHD, which is a disability of my own, just like they did Sebastian and his autism. They're just that low. They're that common, and that's just that. What that tells you is how far they will go. They know no boundaries, and they too are narcissists that will attack a person with poor ego. I used to be that. I used to be the person with the poor ego. But you know what? When I was being brought up in it and stuff, I had a poor ego. I got tore down by my daddy because he's a narcissist. But what I done with it was I built off of it. I built a strong resistance to it, to the point that eventually I said, I've had enough. I'm not, you're not tearing me down no more. I'm just going to give it right back to you. That's what you have to do with narcissists. You have to set a boundary. First of all, it's probably more healthy if you're not with them or not even affiliated with them to begin with. Second of all, they're not going to get therapy unless they get to the vulnerable side. When they get to the vulnerable side, they may go for therapy because they're depressed and they won't tell the therapist anything about their grandiosity and their excessive needs for admiration and having to be at the direct center of attention, which is the grandiose side of narcissistic personality disorder. But Chris Proudfoot reminds me of Chris Watts. Remember Chris Watts standing outside his door in Frederick, Colorado, saying that, oh, how I miss my kids and my wife, and I wish they would just come home. And him knowing they're not coming home because he committed a cold, calculus, absolutely disgusting murderous rampage on his own on his own two kids and his wife. What did he do with his two kids to hide their body? You want to know? He took them to the place that he works and threw them into oil terminals. Their bodies into oil tanks. How sickening. This makes me believe being that Chris and Katie is connected with the military, they know how to carry out stuff like this right here and hide Sebastian. Or could this be another there's a slight possibility. Could this be another Ariel Castro situation that we're talking about here? Or Sebastian is being held captive against his own will, and he's not being allowed outside the house. He could be locked up in a basement somewhere. And that's true. Nothing is off the table when it comes to this case. I do not believe Seth had anything at all to do with his child's disappearance. I do not. Seth has the receipts of where he was at when it happened. Chris, the only receipt that we got of where he was at when it happened is his mouth only, which is nothing but lies. A habitual, narcissistic liar. That's what we're dealing with Chris Proudfoot. And I would like to know, I seen somebody say that somebody's got my address. If you would please speak up and tell me who that somebody that supposedly has my address actually is. Please tell me it's the PI guy, the unscrupulous PI guy, because this is allegedly, so we can go in that direction. Yep, I believe. I believe that the phone was left at the camper, and I believe that he stopped somewhere between Memphis and Nashville and got a burner phone. That's my belief. And that's what he used to call Katie on. Because a lot of cell phones have three-way calling, so she probably just put the other phone on hold while she accepted the call from his burner phone. Because you go back and think about it. The incident happened at 6 o'clock in the morning, right? Well, that's when it was called in. She called Chris around 6 o'clock. Well, what would you do if this was your stepchild? Would you get a phone call if you're in Memphis at 6 o'clock in the morning? Would it take you to 1 o'clock in the evening to get home? Being that the situation is what it was? You can Google it. The drive from Stafford Court to Memphis, Tennessee is 3 hours and 37 minutes. So, that being the case, where did the other 3 hours and 23 minutes go? Because he would have to do a hell of a lot of stopping and eating and getting gas and stuff to go. To pass that almost 3.5 hours away. It just doesn't add up. I'm sorry, it don't. It doesn't take 7 hours to drive from Stafford Court to Memphis. I know if it would have been me, what I would have done, I would have told my boss, look, something catastrophic has happened at my house and I have to go home back to Nashville. And I would have went to the camper, just locked the door. And I don't know if he had it hitched up or not. That's unknown or not, but it don't take that long to unhitch a damn camper. If it was. And then set it back up for it to stay there until he got back. It don't take that damn long. Hell no, it don't. So, I think I would have left the site and went back and went, it's basically not even out of the way, to his campsite. And got the things that he needed to get, which shouldn't take no 3.5 hours, 5 minutes tops. And I'd have been on my damn way back to Stafford Court. That's just me. But I'm not Chris. Thank God I'm not. I wouldn't want to be him for nothing. Because when he was asked was him and Katie considered a suspect, and he said, no, we're not a suspect. We've been cleared. But what did the Sumner County Sheriff's Office say? They said nobody has been cleared. That means no, he has not been cleared as a suspect. Nor has Katie. Nor has the Bowersox. Not even Seth. Unfortunately, who I believe should be cleared, who has provided the receipt where he was at. I think he should be cleared. And Bullhorn Betty has done everything she can to push for that to happen, but it's Sumner County. It's Sumner County, and the Bower Sox are big politicians in that county. But I would like to know, um, for the person that posted in here that they know that they've got my address, I would like to know who that person is that has my address. Get me the name of the person. Because if you're going to put it in here stating that they have my address, they who? Who has my address? Boy, tragic. I wouldn't believe it. I would. I wouldn't doubt it if they do have it, because these web sleuths, they know no boundaries. But I want the person that said that they had my address speak up and tell me who it was. Who has my address? If you're still in this group. If not, feel free to drop a comment after my live session. Prove it to me that they got my address. Show me my address. Otherwise, it's not valid. And this little PI guy, well, he's got a rap sheet a mile long full of criminal activity. So I'm not too concerned about him. Not too concerned about Chris and Katie. They'll soon be no longer a member of my Facebook page. And if I find out that they're on my channel, then if I find out that they're part of my channel, they can be removed from that too. And that's just it. That's my dog. She sees people outside, so hey, she's my guard as well, and she's try to come at me. She's not very nice. So, and wherever I go, she's with me. I've already seen a pic. Yeah, we've already seen enough pictures of Chris. I probably should have lost my vision by now. Thank God I still got it. Because that's how ugly the man is. Somehow, Katie finds him to be attractive. She's got bad taste. She definitely has bad taste. She any any woman that will put their man before their child, they're lacking something. They got some loose screws. And unfortunately, I think the loose screws are just a little bit too loose to be tightened. I think those screws have been stripped. They no longer work. Wow. It's amazing what these channels and what these supporters and how far they will go to use their own narcissism and manipulation tactics to censor you. But that's what they'll do. That's who they are. They believe in their own lies. Whereas normal people like me, we can see straight through them. I watch a lot of crime stories on TV. I see stuff like this happening all the time. And it almost always involves somebody with narcissistic or antisocial personality disorders. Then you've got there's so many different kinds of narcissism. But when it all comes down to it's narcissistic personality disorder in just different forms. You've got the regular narcissistic personality disorder, grandiose, self-centered, entitlement. You've got a vindictive narcissist. You've got the spiritual narcissist. You've got the vulnerable narcissist. And then you've got there's this trait of narcissistic personality disorder that comes with it's the dark triad, which is narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. And then you have the vulnerable dark triad, which is narcissistic personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, and Machiavellianism. And then you've got the dark tetrad and the vulnerable dark tetrad. The dark tetrad is narcissistic personality disorder, Machiavellianism, psychopathy, and sadism. Then the vulnerable dark tetrad is narcissistic personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, Machiavellianism, psychopathy, and sadism, I think. So I'm not saying that either one of them is sadistic. in any way, but I don't rule out anything in any way. But my fears, I did have hope that Sebastian was still alive, but those those hopes are starting to fade away, especially after what I saw yesterday with At Night Media and stuff. You know what they posted and stuff. It's just, and then what I heard on Bullhorn Betty's channel, and then what Nina's daughter sent to me because she wanted her voice to be heard, and I'm making sure it's heard. Facebook deleted it, but I'm just going to repost it. And I put it on YouTube because I told her what I was doing and then I would make that promise come true. And I know the channels. I know every one of the channels just about that supports the Proud Feet. I just don't have time for it anymore. I used to, those are the channels when everything was going downhill. I was so mixed into what's going on and stuff, what could be happening. I was just open to listening to everybody. And unfortunately, I chose to listen to that side for a brief period of time. And I said, no, these people are just, they're not about finding Sebastian. They're about um, protecting the order of not finding Sebastian. And so I said, I need to listen to some of Seth's channels. And that's what I did. I listened to Bullhorn Betty. I listened to Mr. and Mrs. Z's Crime and Podcast. Um, I listened to a bunch of channels of Seth's. And I realized who it was that was telling the truth. Who I'm more comfortable with, whose side I'm taking. I know there's going to be some people that's going to say, well, you can't trust him because he might be on the Proud side. No, I hate the Proud. I am a very hard supporter of Seth and Tony, and I want his child found. It's been a nightmare for him for 10 months. And in 10 days from now, it's going to be working on 11 months. Senseless. You know, I'm starting to think the same thing, Frank. I mean, him standing out there with a spiritual box with his YouTube influencers, a couple, y'all seen who he was with. I don't have the name of names. But guess what? The thing is, not even in that search 10 months later, where was Katie at during that search? She didn't appear to be on that search either. I'm guessing she was back at home cooking him a big, nice fantastic meal when he got home out of probably chilly air. He'd have some warm and cozy soup. Guarantee that's what she was doing. That's the reason why she wasn't there. It was at the edge of dark, by the way. Who would search for a child at the edge of dark? With basically nothing. And probably intoxicated at the same time. Wonder where the Sumner County Sheriff's Office was at with that. Reckon if they would have pulled him over after he was done searching, they would have found the smell of alcohol on his breath. Probably would. Reckon they would have let him go? They probably would, because, the parents, especially the stepdad of Chris, is a big politician in Sumner County. And politicians don't believe that they're above they actually believe that they're above the law. I've heard many things about the Proudfoot. I mean, the Proudfoot and the Bower Sox, that they are in good cahoots with everybody in Gallatin, Tennessee, the courthouse and the judges and everything. I've even heard that they're big politicians. I believe that. I'm just glad they're not politicians in my state. Thank God. Sebastian would have done been found in my state. Let me just make that clear. Because we had a daughter that went. We had a little girl. I think Shania Davis. She was murdered, and it didn't take very long for the suspect to be found. And not only that, but the part of this state that she was sickeningly left at, in the middle of the woods, very rural. Yet our law enforcement agencies were able to not just locate her body, but found out very quick who was responsible for doing it. Maybe, just maybe, Tennessee needs to take a book out of my state's page, since they have a problem, and it's obvious, of solving issues with missing children. It's took them 3 years with Summer Wells. Have they found or even tried to bother finding any more clues about Summer Wells? No. You know what they done with the case? They closed the box on it and put it on a shelf. And you know what that means, right? Case is cold. Now, hopefully, in her county, at some point, there'll be somebody new in there that will open the lid off that case, reopen it, and be determined to find who it was that done away with it, regardless who we think it was. We just need to pin it down. Who killed Summer Wells? She didn't just vanish out of thin air like Sebastian. No. 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 Sebastian didn't just vanish without a trace either. It didn't happen that way. Just like it didn't take 7 hours for Chris to drive from Memphis, Tennessee to Stafford Court in Hendersonville or Shackleford Island, Tennessee. It didn't take that long. Y'all know that. It's not possible. Not possible. And for them to take 3 hours on the phone, well, what, I mean, even if he didn't take the phone, what could they have been talking about for 3 hours? Was it I love you this, I love you that, or I'm just sitting here watching television, I'm watching a movie, Sebastian's doing okay. Go to the Roadhouse diner, right? You can see yourself where she asked Sebastian, "Can I take a picture?" He shook his head. Right there. What did she do anyways? She took his picture anyways, against his will, and sent it to Christopher. How did I find that out? He outright admitted to it on ET's podcast when he called in Raven that night. That she sent the pictures to him. Oh, was it because he demanded her to send the pictures to him? Was that what it's about? It never seemed to be about what Sebastian wanted, was it? No. It wasn't about what Sebastian wanted. Sebastian didn't get what he wanted. He did not get his picture not taken. Unfortunately, it was taken not once, but at least twice. Group rules will be changed January 19th. So that's enough time for you Proudfoot followers and lovers, enough time to do a mass exodus. It's your warning. If you don't, and anybody in my group, that is on their side, and it's not about finding Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and anybody that tries to post as private without their name being shown to anybody in the group, they will be automatically banned permanently. Also, let me also say this. there's going to be extreme rules once you send the application to join the group. It's going to be, the rules are going to be extreme. Okay? Rule number 1. No member of the Bauer Sox family or Proudfoot family will be allowed in my group. Rule number 2. Nobody on YouTube that is affiliated with them will be allowed in my group. There's other groups for y'all. Get off your ass. Create your own group. Do what I did. It's easy to start your own group on Facebook. Don't come in other people's group and attack them. Start your own group. Have your own conversations. Instead of being drama queens coming in other people's group that's trying to find Sebastian and try to drag them down and manipulate them, because you ain't manipulating me. Yeah, you whoever it was reported me to Facebook. They got me silenced for 3 days on Facebook, but you're not silencing me. I have other platforms. I have way other platforms that I can do this on. There's a platform called True Social that there is no censorship. We can do that route too. If anybody wants to try to report me to YouTube, we can go that route as well. I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to be censored. In fact, I'll tell you what I did do a while ago. And hopefully it will get somewhere. I mean, with all the stuff that he's going to have going on when he comes into office and stuff, he probably won't have time to read it. But I sent it to him because I saw the picture of Mark Zuckerberg trying to butter up to Trump the other day. And I'm not trying to turn this case into politics by no means. Trying to butter up to him and saying that he was going to stop the censorship on his platform. That didn't happen. Because his own platform, once it was reported, they take matters in their own hands. They don't ask questions to the person that made the post as to whether it's directly or indirectly pointed towards that person. No. There was, in fact, no evidence at all in that post. And it was what Nina's daughter told me she wanted me to get out there. And I decided to keep the post. And not only did I decide to do that, but I also, after I kept hitting the, when it was pending and stuff, publish, I kept noticing that as soon as I would publish it, and then I would, before I could even go back to the group, it was already removed. So I took it under my screen name and I posted it. And I said, this is what Nina's daughter said. Not Faith, but her other daughter, who Chris has absolutely no blood relation to. She says has been quiet this whole time, and she felt like it was time for her voice to be heard. And I said, I will follow through on your promise. And what did they do to me and to her? They tried to silence us by reporting me to Facebook. That's why they got 3 days to get the hell out of my chat, out of my group on Facebook. 3 days. I have other admins that's also removing them in the process until I can get back there. And if any of my mods on Facebook are watching this video, I would really love if you have access, because my hands are tied right now. Can't do anything until the 19th. If you can, and if you don't mind, just change the rules to enter the group and make them extremely, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being extremely, make them a level 10 and extremely strict rules to be eligible to even qualify to get in our group. Anonymous people, gone. Just like that. People who want to post unanimous, banned. Because guess what? What those people don't understand is when they do post as anonymous, the administrators, they still have access to once we click on their name, once we click on who the unanimous person, when it has unanimous on there, we click on it, it shows their actual name. But it only does that to the administrators. And so, with that being said, any unanimous post, it will be removed. And the group rules will be extremely strict. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. I wish I could help right now, but my hands are tied. I have no clue who reported me to Facebook, but I will tell you what it was. It was Nana's daughter. She had reached out to me because she had been quiet she said she had been quiet for a long time and she just had enough. And she had something very important to tell me, and she wanted it to be released. And she said that she said she knew herself that she would be probably attacked. And I said, no doubt. I said, but I will get your word out there. And it stayed impending. And the mod that I had on there, the administrator that I had on there, Mel was the name. She let it stay impending. So, like I said, when I went and checked on it, it was impending. And as soon as I hit the publish button, it was already gone. How that happened, I don't know. It's because they wanted her silenced and they wanted to make sure of it. So what I done was, like I said, I decided to take, I took it, I copied it, and I published it in the group myself. And I said, I think it was at the bottom. I said, this is the words from Nina's daughter, not Faith, her other daughter. You know, so if the PI wants to come at me and say that I said that Faith, that I was talking about Faith, go ahead. I got the receipt as to who I talked to, and it wasn't Faith. She's not even old enough to be on the internet. Not that I know of. I mean, I don't know her exact age, but I, I don't suspect her to be. But it was her older sister, and it was very important that it needed to be out there. And I did get it to Bullhorn Betty. I tried to get it to Nick the Hat, but with X, the message was so long. Unfortunately, X didn't follow through with the promises that it was going to do years ago, and be like Facebook, where you could make it unlimited. You know, that's not what happened. But what I did do, like I said, I saw a picture of Mark Zuckerberg doing his fake buttering up to Donald Trump by saying he will stop the censorship on his platform. Well, I sent Donald Trump a tweet letting him know immediately that Mark Zuckerberg didn't really follow through with what his promises were, because he's a fake. So where that goes, I don't know. That, I mean, like I said, he's gonna have his hands so tight, full and tied up. He's probably not gonna be able to get the message. There's so many problems going on right now. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I do hope that they will get something going right in Tennessee to find these missing children. And it's going to have to start at the top with the TBI, you know, a new boss. Is it like you know the old saying, a new sheriff in town. Um, I think Eric Craddock needs to be fired. I just I don't think he does his job. I don't think he cares as much about the community as he puts on Facebook that he makes out like he's doing. So I don't trust him a bit more than I can throw him. I don't trust the Sumner County court system a bit more than I can throw them after what they put Betty through. And I sure as hell don't trust Proudfoots and Bowersogs. Like I say, Karen, I really do appreciate it. And you don't know how much I do appreciate it. But once my hands become untied, I'll be able to help more. But I can't post. It's even, I haven't checked yet, but it's probably affecting my messenger. I don't know. Because a lot of times when you get reported to Facebook, they stop your communication on Messenger for a certain amount of days and Facebook. So I'll get on Messenger here in a few minutes as soon as I'm done with the live video and see if I'm able to send messages or not. If not, I mean, if I send a message and it don't go through and you don't hear from me for the first 20 or 30 minutes after the video, then you'll know I can't use a messenger either. Hopefully I can. Because I think it's a damn shame that Facebook bans people from their First Amendment rights while faking to the president that's coming in that they're going to put a stop to that. What a liar Mark Zuckerberg is. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna get off here. I just recently uploaded a video right before I went live. If you want to, you can go check that out too. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button on that video. Hit the like and subscribe button on this live. We can't express how important it is to get Sebastian's name out there. Let it get worldwide, because with her being in the military, there is no limitations as to where he might be. There's no telling. They claim like they had no friends, but are you telling me she didn't make no friends in the military? I just find that hard to believe. I do. I find it hard to believe, you know. But I'm hoping this case will be resolved soon. For Seth and for us, we want to know what happened to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and we want to know where he's at. At least bring us closure. Have enough heart and decency to bring closure to the case. If he's been unalived, why hold back? I mean, there's a $250,000 reward out for this. Not even money's doing the talking. That should be a red flag right there. That should be a red flag right there. That he's with somebody that's rich and don't need the $250,000. Or he may no longer be with us, unfortunately. And I'm leaning toward the second part, because as long as I wanted to believe the first part up until yesterday, it's so unfortunate that today, after watching what I did on Bullhorn Betty's channel yesterday, hearing the clips that she played, then Nina's older daughter reaching out to me last night, and then I put it on YouTube last night as well. I put the transcript on there. You can go to my last night's video and listen to it. It wasn't her voice. I took exactly what she said and I just translated it and I put it onto my phone and I let AI read it out on Bluetooth. But um I did make it a female like AI bot because her daughter is obviously a female, so you know, but I also wanted to make sure to let everybody know that it was not her. I mean, that that it was not her daughter that was speaking directly in that video. It was a transcript of what she had sent to me on Messenger, and she is she tried to post it on in the group, like I said, but it stayed in pending. It never would get approved. And then when I checked on it, I hit publish, and once I published, before I could even get back to it, to the page, Facebook page, it done been took down. I don't know how that is. I I literally don't, but I assume I do. But I'm not going. I can't actually put the blame on her, but I feel like I believe it was her that was removing the post because at that time she was the only other mod that would do that. So she has been removed as a mod, and she supposedly has been removed from the group because I know I clicked on her last night in the group and I clicked on ban member. At first I clicked on block member, but I thought, well, it'll block her from the group. No, it just blocked her Facebook from my Facebook. It didn't block her from the group. So um I think it was Karen, Miss Karen right there, that told me that she was still in the group. So I said, well, dang, it must have only blocked her from my Facebook and not the group. So I went back and I had to unblock her from my Facebook and then go back into the group and remove her from the group. That was the only way I could pull her back up, was for me to unblock her so I could ban her from the group. So that's what I done. And I don't know whether Facebook let it go through. It said it did on my end. So I'm hoping she's no longer a member of my group. And Karen's working on this right now. So the hate channels, they can get off their lazy ass and create their own Facebook group. If that's what, instead of coming in other people's groups bullying them, then uh, that'll stop immediately. We can put we're more than willing to allow as many administrators, trustable administrators, as we can to stop this bullying in our group, as well as strict rules entering the group. Extremely strict. That's what I'm calling for. But I thank Miss Karen for everything that she's doing right now until my hands become untied. You know, her and my spouse will be taking care of some things. He's autistic too, and he's been very sensitive to this situation, but he's more on the high functioning side. Um, but it's just been 11 months too long. One day was too long to start with, but now it's reached its 11 months, almost. In 10 days, it'll be 11 months, and no trace, no scent, no nothing. Cover up. That's all I can think. If somebody's covering somebody's ass. That's my belief. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna get off here, and this has really stressed me out, but the bullying stops. And if it gets far, if the bullying gets far on my YouTube channel, then the comments can be turned off as well. I don't want to have to do that. But if bullies want to come in my channel and think that's what they're going to do, no. And I will be having mods as well. And once again, I've been accused of taking this channel and use it to make profit off of Sebastian Rogers missing. And let me say exactly what I said last night. I don't have a Patreon on this channel. I never will. There will never be a button that you can push on my channel that says donate. There will never be a PayPal linked to my YouTube. There will never be a Vimo linked to my YouTube or any other kind of bank. You want to know why? Because I don't charge nothing to upload my content and to hear my content. I don't charge anything to get Sebastian's word out there and to get his name out there. It's free. Exactly. Gigi, exactly. That people like us and me, Bullhorn Betty, and Tony and Seth and Nick and Dog, we are the voice of the voiceless. Let me go back to, and I don't like to bring this subject up. It's just, it's disgusting to bring up, but for 13 years, I think it was 13 years, there was this guy in Cleveland, Ohio, Ariel Castro. Do y'all remember what he done to those women in the basement of his house? Kept them there for 13 years. And he finally decided to bring them up and then lock them in a room instead of the basement. Well, I think the reason why he got caught was he uh, left one of the room doors unlocked, and they didn't hear him moving and stuff inside the house. So one of the girls, she knew immediately she had to run and get help because she had to save the other two, and that's what she done. And then what happened to him? What was waiting for him uh, when they found him? That they went on a manhunt for him, and they found him that day. He kept them in the basement and in that house, locked in, no way out, for 13 years. And he also forced one of the girls who had the weakest and the most vulnerable mind of them all, in his eyes, to have a miscarriage. That is the most disgusting thing that I have ever, one of the most disgusting things that I've ever heard. On up there with it is Chris Watts and what he did with Shanann and Bella and his other daughter. Despicable. Yet Chris Watts and Chris Proudfoot are doing the same exact thing. They don't know anything. They just wish that he would come home. And then Chris Watts saying he wishes that his wife and children would just, I guess, somehow magically appear and drive up, knowing that they would never drive up to that house in Frederick, Colorado again. Because of what he done. Thank God that there was a camera on the edge of his neighbor's house that caught him leaving with that truck that morning. Had that case may have not been solved, or it may have been took some time, but they got him. Might have took a couple of weeks, but they zeroed in and they got him. What the hell is going on in Tennessee? They're not finding any of these missing children. Are they really even trying? That's my question. That's my question to TBI. Are they really even trying to find these missing children? That it goes beyond that with me. I mean, to look on their registry and see how long these children have been missing, and no, I mean, absolutely no trace at all. TBI needs a new boss. Sumner County Sheriff, they need to be free of Eric Craddock. They need a new sheriff chief. That's what they need. One that's not biased. One that will open up Sebastian's case and say, we gotta get stuff on the roll here. There's no reason why Chris and Katie have not been in the interrogation room. At least. It's no excuse. No excuse. Thank you for keeping it on the low. You. Thank you keeping it on the low. I appreciate that. Really do. I really do. But enough of the drama. And it's going to end my group, and it's going to end um, on my channel on YouTube. They need those private people and content creators. They need to stick in their own lane. That's where they need to stay. Stay in their own lane. Like I was going to say, and I may have said, Et, I like his channel, and I honestly believe that he wants Sebastian found, but I think he's autistic too, but I think that he is just aligning himself with the wrong people. That's just what I believe. That's my belief. I think he's a good guy. I mean, when he first started that live session, he was going off, and then Chris come in there, and he jumped on him, and they went at it for a little bit, and then Chris immediately sweet talked his way into calming him down, and then getting control of the conversation. That's what a narcissist does. But you have to stand up to them and don't ever let them get control of the situation. You have to remain in control and have to be firm. Speak loud and firm. If Chris has got any questions, the door's open. Like I said, it will be recorded. It will be put on YouTube. It will be turned in. If there's any slip ups, you know, that raises red flags, I'll do my very best that I can to forward to send it to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office and the TBI. That's all you can do as a content creator. I mean, especially if you live far away from Tennessee like I do. Now, if I live right there on the Tennessee state line, it'd be a different story. But I'm nowhere near Tennessee. I'm nowhere near the Nashville, Hendersonville area. And, you know, but I'm doing the very best I can on my end to get Sebastian's name out there with Sebastian's army. And we must grow in strength. We must recruit. Like the U.S. military does, we must recruit. Because the hating channels, they're doing the same thing. So we need to be doing the same thing as well. Because we are having to fight for Sebastian. And that's sad. When we should all be united in finding Sebastian. But there's nothing that the Proudfoots and the Bowersox wants, or any of their supporters wants, to make this happen. And that's a sad thing. Anyways, guys, yes, that's true. That's true, Selena. It's like ADHD, which is what I have. And I'm sure the make funners, like the ones, one of the ones that posted on one of my videos earlier this, I think it was over the weekend, was making fun of somebody with autism. Sickening. But I'm sure they'll make fun of me too, because I outright admitted I have ADHD. But you know what? I do not give a shit. But for Chris, anytime you're ready for a long, long, long talk, buddy, that you can't control the conversation, you're free to call. You'll be recorded. And the entire conversation, if there's a slip up, will be sent to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. And TBI fines. Nick the Hat, I'll send it to Bullhorn. And if she wants to send it to Nick, that's up to her. I mean, to a Dog, that's up to her. You know, but if she does, she needs to keep it secret, because I think that she's got a legal case with him. So she's probably wanting to lie low with that situation right now. I'm not sure. But I do know that Bullhorn Betty's full and 100% commitment is, no doubt, her goal is to find Sebastian, just like me. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get off here. I got a lot of stuff that I got to get done. Probably won't do another video tonight. Hopefully I will see y'all tomorrow night. Unfortunately, it's a sad thing that the person who posted in here near the start of the conversation said they already have my address. Show me the proof. Show me the proof. You too, Selena. You have a great day. And that's it. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Everything I said in this video is allegedly, except for, and the truth is on this, the banning of the people that's on the Proudfoot side and the Bowersox side in my group on Facebook, as well as unanimous members, will no longer be available in our Facebook group. If they come in our group and they post unanimous, they will be removed. Everything other than that is allegedly. let's pray that tomorrow is a day that we celebrate Sebastian being home. I say it every day. That's all we can do. But until, like I said, I may make a video tomorrow. I may go live tomorrow night. Or it may be Friday night. I'm not sure. But I will see you guys then, and please take care of yourself and have a good day, and bye-bye.